Before proceed, please, can you confirm that you can hear us online?
Yeah.
Can you confirm that you can hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, all right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Emmanuel Taye is online. Chidinma Udechukwu, she's here. Yes, she's joining.
Sorry? Okay.
Just confirm that you can hear us.
I can hear you.
You're the session chair. You determine how many minutes.
Good.
Oh, okay, you're going to start first. Sorry, can you pause for a second? We just want to confirm if they can hear us online. Please, can you all hear us online?
Yeah, I can hear you now. But I can't hear the presenter.
Now, yeah, I couldn't hear the presenter either.
All right.
Before we continue again, I like to check if the people online can hear us clearly so that they don't miss out on it. So please confirm that you can hear us from the Zoom.
I can hear you, but I couldn't hear the presenter at all.
Please, can we speak a little bit louder so that they can hear us from over there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Still cannot hear the presenter.
Emmanuel Taye, please confirm that you can hear us.
Thank you. Yeah. So can you hear me?
Very well.
Hello? Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
So I didn't know what to do because
Okay, can you hear us now?
yeah, I can hear you, but I can't share my screen.
All right, go ahead and share your screen. Attempt to share your screen again.
It's not working. Still not working.
Attempt to share your screen again.
Okay. Okay, I can see. I'm sorry for the delay.
Can you share your screen now?
I can share my screen. Oh, sorry. I'm coming. I'm sorry. I did something. Oh,
Maybe we can proceed with someone else. If it's not ready.
okay. I'm sorry. I'm coming. I just want to. You can continue with someone else.
Okay, that's fine. Maybe I think I could go in my own presentation.
Okay. So can I open on? Hello. Sorry. Can you hear me? So can I continue?
No, just hold up. Allow Chidima to continue, please. She's already sharing her screen.
Okay. Okay, it's fine.
All right. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Depending on where you're hearing me from. My name is Chidima Udechukwu, and from University of Cincinnati, Ohio. And today I will be talking on my topic, negotiating identities of migration, gender, and belonging among Nigerian women in Cincinnati, Ohio, specifically. Okay, so this research actually is a part of my master's thesis, which I just concluded last month, May, where I just graduated with my master's in women, gender studies. And this is a part of, or will I say, a part of my master's thesis. Okay, so let me move further to the next one. I don't know if you guys can see. So why this study? This study is very important because when it comes to the issue of migration, there are various notions about migration and what it entails. For example, various scholars have discussed that the United States, for example, is um, one of the prominent nations for migration. However, the narratives about immigrants have been lopsided. Also, within the African migration, the voices of women, especially mothers, have actually be important because it gives us an avenue to understand their experiences, specifically while also bringing their voices into light within African migration and also in the United States specifically where this study was actually done. So why is this very important? I would say because it gives a form of visibility addressing various issues that they encounter, such as occupational skilling, which I will get into details. Also, it brings into notion the underrepresentation of Nigerian immigrant women into study, and while also understanding how this actually challenges dominant migration narrative. As you can see, a quote from one of the studies here, I had to start all over again, and it's like our certificate do not actually bring of any importance upon coming to United States. So this study actually helps us to understand the different experiences that Nigerian immigrants, mothers specifically, which is the group study for this research, actually face in the United States, specifically in Cincinnati, which is actually the location for this study. So when it comes to occupational skilling, I'm just going to like briefly state what that is. So occupational skilling basically is the notion that degrees, certifications, or qualification are not valuable within the United States job market or the labor force upon relocation, and which has led to some actually taking up menial jobs or starting afresh within their career trajectory, even with their skills and different certification that they have gotten before migration. And this is actually one among other reasons why this study is very important. So moving forward, I will be explaining the various theoretical framework that was actually used to ensure that this study was a success and also to highlight the importance of this study. One of it is intersectional theory. As a feminist scholar who is very interested in the study of women, intersectionality theory or theoretical framework is a very essential tool when it comes to this study. And this is because, for example, intersectional theory, which was actually proposed by Crenshaw, Kimberly. So actually state that this is a theory that helps to understand the multiple social identities, which can either be race, class, gender, as the case may be, and how all of these intersecting identities combine to actually create a unique experience of oppression, privileges, as the case may be. So with intersectional theory, it actually helps recognize how these various identities are not isolated, but rather they intersect together to actually influence each other, shaping individual lives and their experiences within the society. So, for example, this helps us understand how Nigerian immigrant mothers experience various forms of oppression. So they are not just Nigerians, but they are also Blacks and mothers and women. So the interplay between race, class, gender, social identity actually all intersect to actually form the oppression and the disadvantage that they actually face. Another very great theory is the feminist migration theory. This actually highlights how systematic forces such as the labor market, immigration laws, as well as family responsibility impact women's mobility, migration, and also adaptability when they go relocate to a new country. And this also helps to challenge the male-centered migration narrative that men are the ones that migrate, while women are dependent on men's migration. However, not understanding that there are various other things that actually affect women, such as caregiving responsibility or childcare, as the case may be, reproductive labor, and emotional work that actually, which are actually the things that they bring in within the migration theory. And with this theory, helps us to analyze how women navigate their own life, both as immigrants, as women, and also as mothers, which is influenced by various circumstances. The last theory, which is very essential for this role and for this study, is the feminist book structure post-structural theory, and this actually helps to challenge the various understanding of what gender is. So with this theory, it helps to understand the narrative about motherhood and what the success is, because according to this theory, gender is fluid. And because gender is fluid, is constructed and is situated within power relations. So with various scholars, it helps understand that the various subjectivity and the roles of culture actually shapes what gender is and what gender should represent, such as the idea of being what a good mother should be and should be at home to be domesticated and things in that area. So the context of this study was actually focused on Nigerian immigrant women in Cincinnati specifically. And this was based on location proximity, which is currently where I'm based and where the study was actually, where the study actually took place. And I would say the reason, like I've already established, another reason for choosing Cincinnati, beyond just for proximity sake for myself as a researcher, but also because of the limited African support system within the location of Cincinnati. Cincinnati is one of the states in is one of the cities in the Midwest, and is also has a limited or a growing, I think that's a better word, a growing number of African population within that. So this study is very important, and the location was also very important because it actually helps with the study. And so participants were able to, with this study, was actually able to reach a group of participants. However, we're able to have over 8 Nigerian mothers in this study. Yeah, so who were the women? So we had 8 Nigerian mothers participate in this study within the age gap of 30 to 58, who were educated and very skilled. And most of the participants had at least a bachelor's degree in different field and different career before migrating to the United States. And why some actually came here for either further studies or had a master's degree before relocating. Okay, moving forward, let me change my screen. So this research actually has 3 research questions for why it was actually studied. So one is, how do immigrant mothers reconstruct their identity? So this identity as Nigerian Black mothers, how do they reconstruct this identity within an environment that they face various racialization and difficulties? And also, how do they negotiate belonging in a racialized society? So how do they find belonging, find the extended family that they do not have, or how do they recreate such extended family or networking that they do not have compared to when they were in Nigeria? And also the third question that this study, focuses, how does migration reshape motherhood? So when it comes to this question for this study, we understand that they face different struggles when it comes to the struggles that they face. One, as I've already established, is the issue of degree not being translated into something visible here within the workspace. And that actually resulted in a lot of people going back to school, taking up new degrees, or being involved in menial roles, all because they are trying to juggle between their new experience. And as the study suggested, during the study, one of the things that I understood is how people had to go back to school, not because they wanted to, but because within the individualistic capitalist society where they find themselves now, they have to work, and they also have to contribute to the well-being of the family and financially. For example, one of the participants talked about how during the time when she was in Nigeria, she didn't work during a certain period of time, and because she had to take care of the kids, but that advantage and not and beyond just taking care of the kids, she had various support system within like family, grandmothers, sisters, as the case may be. But within a more individualistic and capitalist society like the United States, such experience, most of them do not have family members who can help with childcare responsibility. So this is one of the struggle, and most of them had to juggle getting new degrees to be able to be financially stable and also contribute to the family, while also looking out for how they can raise their children, especially most of them who had kids after migrating. And we can see examples of people's interview where they had to, sorry, where they talked about how they had to start new degrees or looking for how to help with their childcare responsibility. And also, some of them also talked about the issue of racism, especially those in the healthcare sector who actually started a new field, especially within the nursing degree, and the various racism and they actually had to face while also building their new career in an environment where they have to identify as Black in certain cases and also Nigerians in certain cases, and just to juggle within those responsibility and juggle also various responsibilities and disadvantages they actually have to face in the society. So what were their resistance? Like I've already established, most of them had to find different ways to navigate this resistance, such as pivoting into white dominated sorry, I was muted. Redefining gender roles in the home. Can you
Chidima, you may proceed and unmute yourself.
Okay.
Chidima. All right, go ahead. Proceed. Round up and then unmute yourself, please.
Okay, I think yeah, because the I was muted. Sorry about that. Just to finalize as I round up the session, share my screen. I'm trying to share my screen, but it's
They are
not.
still seeing your screen.
Okay. There are some technical issues here. Okay, just to finalize, even though I'm having issues with my screen here. Moving forward, just to round up, I found out that for resistance, most of them had to redefine gender roles, and this actually involved men being more involved in the childcare responsibilities in the home, while also allowing women take over as the ones who actually bring in more finances into the house due to their re-education and career pivoting, and also the incorporation of faith such as church, being involved in church, and also creating sisterhood as a power of to actually sustain themselves. So, in conclusion, we found out that Nigerian immigrants, mothers actually Nigerian female immigrants are agents of identity reformation upon relocation. They actually ensure that they resist, they adapt, and also reimagine new belonging in their environment where they find themselves to actually navigate any form of racism or oppression or disadvantage that they find within themselves. And moving forward, this study is very important, and I look forward to researching upon the various challenges that come with this renegotiation that affects family Nigerian dynamics in the United States. Thank you very much.
Hello, can you hear me? Sorry, I can't share my screen. Okay. Sorry, I'm coming. Can you see the screen? Hello?
Hold
Okay.
up, let me guide you on how to share your screen. Quickly, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Have you opened your PowerPoint presentation in the PowerPoint software on your laptop?
I've opened it.
Have you opened it?
Yes.
Now, hit the share button in the base of the Zoom meeting. At the base of the Zoom meeting, hit the share button.
Okay, I'm coming. Okay, I've clicked the share button.
Now, navigate to where the screen that shows your slide is in the options that you get.
Okay, guys, like image from file documents, the screen is there too.
What are you saying?
Like I said, what I'm seeing here, sorry, I'm going.
Emmanuel, please confirm that you are joining from a PC.
Now I'm joining from my phone because my system
From your
is
phone?
done. Yeah, my system is done.
I think I'm afraid you're going to have to go ahead and present, and then you don't necessarily have to see your slide. Whoever wants to see the content of your slide, you can continue this conversation via email.
So where's it?
Please proceed with your presentation. The content of your slide can be shared with participants if you want via email. You have all the emails of the participants.
Okay. I got it. I'm sorry for my silences. So talking about my topic is diversity and mobility. I'm here to talk about the emancipation and migration of African slaves to Asia. So if you're talking about this, like it's one of the most important discussion in South and Southeast Asia. And in the tip of my content, I have in the introduction the South Asia, that is India. And we have migration, we have trade, we have our slave trade and the European conquest. Then we have Malikamba, which is Chopu. Then we have the Munga Empire that emerged in India from 1398 to 12 to 1757 when they be conquered by the Europeans. Then we have the Archis or the Siddhis. So these are the African groups in India, and those people settle in Gujarat or in Mumbai, in Kolkata, and some other places in India. So the introduction says the paper focuses on the role of the Indian Oceans and the seas. That is trying to shape in the maritime imaginaries with particular emphasis on the trade network connectivity between the Afro-Asia. So if you're talking about the Afro-Asia, we have to take a look from the perspective of the Egyptian civilization and the Harappan civilization. And in the world civilization, there are about five existing civilization. So we have the Babylon civilization, Mesopotamian civilization, Egyptian civilization. We have the Harappan civilization, and also we have the Yellow River civilization, that is the Chinese civilization. So this civilization that existed in the world, so there are some rivers that connected the world together. in the ancient times. So that we have in Egypt, we have the River Nile in Egypt. Then if you go to Mesopotamia and Babylon, they have a river, Tigris and Euphrates. So if you go to India, we have the Indus River that is in modern day Pakistan. That is Mathura and Gadara. Then if you go to China, there's the Yellow River. So these rivers connected the world together. So people were migrating from one place to another through trade. So there was a trade. So there was a trade between Africa, between Nigeria, the Africans and the Indians. That is the Harappan civilization and the Egyptian civilization. So they were trading with themselves, and the archaeological evidence find that they discover in India and also in Egypt, it shows the trade connectivity between Africa and India. So fast forward. So if you talk about the race, according to the India's history, if you talk about the races in India, the first on the list is African. So the African came to India to trade. So the Negroes, they have the Negroes at the first list of the race in India. And also if you go to China's, according to archaeological excavation in 1924, it shows the Peking man who came to India. There was a bone that was discovered in China that shows the migration of Africans to different parts of the Asia and the Eurasian country. That is talking about the South and Southeast Asia and the inner Asia, like India, like China and Indonesia, and some like Persia and some other places. So by 18th century, so a lot of Africans were coming to India to trade. Some will come for some came as a sort of trade. Some also came as a sort of they came as a merchant. They were enslaved. They were brought to India as slaves. So they were trading with the Indians. Most of them settled in Deccan, in the western part of India. So they settled in Deccan, in Admanagar, in the Bahama, in Raju. So they settled in these particular places. They were trading with the Indians. So most times they were also use them to fight wars. So the most important aspect of this research is to talk about the Silk Road. So if you are talking about the world history, we have to talk about the Silk Road, how it played important role, because there was a trade connectivity between the Eurasian and the Asia continent, that is between the Europeans and the Asia, while Africa also played important role. So when there was a trade between the Europeans and the Trans-Asian, so there's a Trans-Asian of the European, of the Persian, India, China, and Indonesia. So they were trading with themselves in time of spicy, in times of cotton, zinc, and textiles. So African played important role because African were used as the slaves. They were being used as a domestic slave or as a warriors. And also, if you take a look about this Silk Road, one of the things that makes it important is because of the trade connectivity or the trade routes, the land route and the sea route. So the Mediterranean Sea, the Indian Oceans, Pacific Ocean, and the River Nile. So it played important role because people were moved from one place to another, and some people also passing through the Silk Road, like from China to Rome, and also from China to India. So they were trading with themselves. So then when there was a trade, the trade was existing between the Eurasian and Asia. So African play important role in the essence that there was at that period of time there was trans-Sahara trade, that is like it was the period of trans-Saharan trade in Africa. So Africans were being enslaved, like from North Africa, they enslaved the other Africa from South Africa, they were being enslaved, and some of them were being sold to Asia and to Eurasian country of the Europeans. So they've been sold. So most of us were conversant with the Africans. They were being enslaved. They were enslaved in North America and South America and Europe, without talking about the Africans that were being sent to Asia. There are billions of Africans that were being sent to India or South and Southeast Asia between 8th century to the 19th century. There are a lot of Africans that were being shipped to India. So talking about this, when there was a trans-Saharan trade in Africa, a lot of Africa, they were being enslaved in Asia. So thousands and millions of people were being shipped on a daily basis. And also in Ethiopia was the base for the shipping of slaves because it's very close to Asia. It's very close to India. And also in some places like Mozambique, Tanzania, Mali. So there are a lot of people, they're being slaves. And the historical evidence shows that there are a lot of Africans that also came to India as a Sufi. Like there's a man who came from Nigeria as a Sufi, who also came to teach the Indians the Islamic religion. And also there was another man called the Babu Ibn Babuta from North Africa, who also taught the whole of Africa, the whole of Asia, the whole of Asia. So he's trying to know about their culture, their religion, and their social ways of life. So talking about the regions of which Africans were being being sent to, we have China, we have India, we have Sri Lanka, we have Burma, we have Afghanistan, Pakistan. So these are the places that Africans were being as they were being enslaved. They're being used as domestic slaves, and sometimes they're being used as a commander. And during this period of time, during the Persian Empire, after the death of Alexander the Great, as at 326 BC. So after the death of Alexander the Great, there was a Gnostic word that was created, that is the Asiatic. So the Asiatic, that the Persians, they are moving across the west, that's the west and the east. So they mostly focus on India because of the India and some other part of the inner Asia. They have a lot of resources compared to the west of the Eurasian country. So they came to India and they were trading with the Indians. They conquered some territories. So the Persian they came to India to introduce Islamic and also Zoroastrian, their religion. So when they introduced this, they needed some slaves. So they brought some Africans to come and work for them as the domestic slaves. And also with the coming of Vasco da Gama in India. So with the coming of Vasco da Gama at 1483, when Vasco da Gama 1493 when 1498 when Vasco da Gama came to India, he saw that the India have a lot of resources. And by 1583, when Raphael Fintech also came to India, so they found that the India have a lot of resources. So they have to brought a lot of the other European countries like the Dutch, like the Portuguese, like the Europeans. So they started coming to Asia, to India. So they needed a lot of resources from the trans-Asian continent or regions of the India, of the China, of the Persian, and also of Indonesia. So they needed Indian zinc, India textile, India zinc, India tea and spices. And also they needed Chinese zinc and Chinese tea. And at the same time, they needed Indonesia spices. And why the Persians were being used as the intermediaries between this region because of because the Persian were being seen as a powerful region and empires. So they have to use these people to conquer the region. So the African were being shipped to India to work for them as a slave, and sometimes they need a security like this. They have to fight the existing empire like Vijayanagar Empire and the Mughal Empire. So they needed Africans to work for them as a slaves, or sometimes to work for them as as an army. So they form an empire in India. And also, if you have to take a look back to what happened before the coming of Vasco da Gama in India, with the establishment of the Delhi Sultanates as at 1206, a lot of Africans they have been brought to India to work as slaves, and sometimes they have been served as a military. And one of the noble Africans that came to India, it was a man known as Chopu from Ethiopia. He was a slave at the age of 12. He was sent to India, and when he was sent to India by the age of 34, he became a ruler. So he became a commandant. When he became a commandant, he was given a power. He was given a position. So he became a commandant in at Managa, and later he became a regent after the death of the Sark, the second. So when he became a regent, he was able to rule about 3 to 5 regions. So he was fighting with the Mughal Empire, and he has to change his name because of his position, because he has to play important role, and he was one of the most prominent African in India. So his name was from Chopu. He changed his name to Malik.
Calling him to come. Yeah.
So can I continue?
Can
Sorry, I
you
can't
wrap
hear
up? Can
you.
you wrap up in 1 minute?
Okay, okay, it's fine. So I hear me.
Mr. Emmanuel Taye, can you hear us from here?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can hear you.
we are giving you 1 minute to wrap up.
Okay, okay. So, in conclusion, the Africans in India play important role, but the people are forgetting that there are a lot of Africans in India, and most of these people in India, they were living in abject poverty because the governments were not helping them because of their skin. And sometimes most of them have to convert from being a Christian or from being a Muslim to participate in the Indians' culture and India's religion. And in the recent time, most of these people were they were now living in Gujarat, in Kolkata, and some other places in the North India. And they were not that socialized because of their nature and also because of their skin. They have to settle in some particular regions and some villages. They are living in a rural area, and some of the writers or some people that visited the place, like anthropologists, like Eli Babu, she said the people were living in abject poverty, and they to even feed themselves is a problem. And the people of didn't know that there are a lot of Africans in India compared to other parts of the world. So there are thousands and millions of Africans in Asia, but we have forgotten them, and the historians mostly focus on the Africans who were being slaves to South and North America and also to Europe, without taking a look about the billions of Africans that have been slaves in South and Southeast Asia. So, and
Mr.
I'll be very
Emmanuel,
glad to continue this work. Yeah.
now wrap up, please, so that we can move on.
So, in conclusion, I very conclude. So, I'm working on this work, and when I finish the work, I'll be glad if I can send it for a publication. Yeah.